Hello students, today we will study about the extraction of aluminium, uh, electrolytic reduction Hall-Herold's process. This we will continue. Yesterday also we have studied about this only, but today we will study this process in detail. So the first point over here, it is fused alumina is electrolytically reduced to aluminium. See, fused alumina means molten alumina, is electrolytically means by supplying electric current by the process of electrolysis it is reduced to aluminium. So we will do the process of electrolysis here, because aluminium oxide, it is highly stable oxide, means there is a strong affinity of aluminium with oxygen. So this oxygen, it cannot be reduced by using any reducing agents. That's why we have to reduce this aluminium oxide by the process of electrolysis. It is a highly stable oxide, and aluminium, it has a strong affinity for oxygen. Hence aluminium oxide, it can be reduced to aluminium electrolytically only and not by reducing agent. So it can be reduced only by electrolysis, not by using any reducing agent. Difficulties faced during electrolytic reduction of alumina. Now we will study about the difficulties which we will face while doing this electrolysis. See, fused alumina, if we talk about, it is almost a non-electrolyte and has very high melting point. So it is very important to see that melting point of this alumina, it is 2050 degrees Celsius. It has very high melting point and it is also a non-electrolyte. So there are two things, because of these two things we face difficulties during this process. A large amount of electrical energy is required to liberate aluminium from Al2O3 and maintain the electrolyte in the molten state at that temperature. See, its melting point, it is 2050 degrees Celsius, and to maintain this Al2O3 in its molten state, we have to supply this much high energy to alumina, and it is very difficult to work in such a high temperature. For this, too much fuel will be required and it will be difficult to maintain such a high temperature for the process. Secondly, this electrolyte, it is also a non-electrolyte. It will not conduct that much amount of electricity, so liberation of aluminium at cathode will be difficult. The liberated aluminium metal melting point 660 degrees Celsius may also tend to volatilize out and get washed. See, because the temperature which we are maintaining here, it is 2050, and melting point of pure aluminium, it is 660. So it will start vaporizing. Okay, hence the fusion temperature of the electrolytic mixture, it has to be lowered. So we have to do something to lower down this much higher temperature. It is 2050 here, and we have to lower this temperature. Now see, third point here, we will see why these fused cryolite and fluorspar are used as an electrolyte. This we have studied in our previous video also, that along with Al2O3 we use cryolite and fluorspar. Cryolite, the formula for cryolite, it is Na3AlF6, and for fluorspar it is CaF2. So addition of mainly cryolite in a higher ratio. See, it is present in the maximum amount here, and fluorspar, they lowers the fusion point of the mixture. They lower down the fusion point. See, if we would be taking pure alumina, its fusion point was 2050 degrees Celsius, and these two electrolytes, cryolite and fluorspar, they reduce the melting point of this alumina to 950 degrees Celsius. So this is the first use of adding cryolite and fluorspar. Now second point, see, addition of cryolite and fluorspar, it also enhances the mobility of the fused mixture. Mobility means the mobility of cation and anion toward their respective electrode. So because see here what we have studied, that fused alumina, it is almost a non-electrolyte. So we use cryolite and fluorspar to it to enhance the mobility of the fused mixture by acting as a solvent for the electrolytic mixture. Thus, cryolite in the molten state, it dissolves aluminium oxide. Now see, third point, it is about cryolite only. Addition of cryolite, it enhances the conductivity of the mixture. Since pure alumina is almost a non-conductor, so it is enhancing the conductivity, and the compound in the electrolyte are thus Al2O3, Na3, AlF6, aluminium compounds, and CaF2. These two are aluminium compounds, and CaF2 is also added. It also help in lowering down the fusion point, and it enhances the mobility of the fused mixture. Charles Hall in 1886 thus resolved the difficulties faced during the electrolytic reduction of alumina, and hence extraction of aluminium. It becomes simpler and consequently cheaper. So the scientist Charles Hall, he actually reduces the difficulties which we were facing earlier in the process of electrolysis, and hence the extraction of aluminium, it becomes easier. Now if you see the diagram there, the diagram of the electrolysis here, a layer of powdered coke is sprinkled over the electrolytic mixture. If you'll see here above here, powdered coke is sprinkled here. So what is the role of this powdered coke here? A layer of powdered coke, it prevents burning of the carbon electrodes in air. The carbon electrodes which are hanging from above, they will not burn in presence of air at the emergence point from the bath. This is the emergence point. They will not start burning here at this point if we will use sprinkled carbon. And secondly, minimizes or prevents heat loss by radiation. It will also help in preventing the heat loss by radiation. Heat will remain intact there only. That's why powdered coke is sprinkled over the electrolytic mixture. Now fifth point, if you will see, the graphite anodes are continuously replaced during the electrolysis. The electrodes which are hanging here, these electrodes, they are they are replaced after some time. See why they are replaced? As we have studied earlier, the oxygen gas, it is evolved at anode and escapes as gas or reacts with carbon anode. It keeps on reacting with carbon anode. The anode, it is made up of carbon, and the oxygen gas which is evolving here, it keeps reacting with this carbon. The carbon anode is thus oxidized to carbon monoxide, which either burns giving carbon dioxide or escapes out through an outlet. So the oxygen gas which is produced at anode, it keeps on reacting with the carbon electrodes and it produces carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide gas. The carbon anode is hence consumed. So if this oxygen gas, it will keep on reacting with this carbon electrode, it will be consumed and renewed periodically. That's why its renewal is necessary after a certain period of usage, and it is therefore preferable to use a number of graphite electrodes as anode instead of a single electrode. If we would be using single electrode, then the replacement will be a very fast process. That's why we use so many number of anode, so that the time of replacement, it becomes larger. Now electrolytic reduction of alumina is a continuous process. Pure aluminium is produced at cathode, yes, that is the inner lining, and being heavier than electrolyte, it settles down. See, if you will see here in the diagram, it is here, it is settling here because it is collecting here in the inner wall, but settling here because it is heavier than all the other electrolytes which are present. Now it is periodically removed through the outlet tap. A tap is there on the right hand side, so it is periodically removed from that tap. As the concentration of Al2O3 falls, if the concentration of the electrolyte falls, if it will be consumed and very less amount of this Al2O3 is there, the resistance of the bath increases and indicated by a glow on the control lamp. A control lamp is there. In our previous video also I told you about this, and at this moment it is indicated by the glow of the control lamp, and at that time pure alumina that alumina it is added and the process continues. Aluminium obtained here by this Hall-Heroult process, it is 99.5% pure, but still if we want to obtain aluminium of 99.9% purity, then after this Hall-Heroult process we do the Hoops process, and after this Hoops process the aluminium which is obtained, it is 99.9% pure. So here see this page number 138, it is very important, students. Go through each and every line of this page very carefully, and many questions can be asked from this page. See here, fused alumina we are reducing it electrolytically. Then difficulties we will face because the Al2O3 which we are using, it is a non-electrolyte and it has very high melting point, that is 2050 degrees Celsius. So here we use, along with alumina, we use cryolite and fluorspar. This cryolite and fluorspar, they reduces the melting point from 2050 to 950 degrees Celsius only, and they also enhance the mobility of the fused mixture. Okay, so two things are done by this and it is a very important role of these two in the process. Now a layer powder coke is added which prevents the burning of the carbon electrode, and it also minimizes or prevents the heat loss by radiation. Number of carbon anodes are used because these anodes they keep on reacting with oxygen to form carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide gas, and they will be consumed very readily. So number of carbon anodes are used. So today we have studied about the electrolytic reduction Hall-Heroult process in detail, and in our next video we will study about the step 4, that is electro refining of impure metal, and there we will study about the Hoops process, and we will do a frequent or a quick study of the whole process which we have studied so far. Thank you.